Once all the documents for this last activity have been submitted, an automated process will then run that allocates one document to one student. So obviously you'll be getting a document that belongs to somebody else, and that is the document that you'll be peer reviewing over the next few days. So once that is, the automated system has run, which will be overnight early in the morning on Thursday the 23rd of May. What you then do is when you log back into Leo next time, go into the EDFD 460 unit and click on the peer review process again. And you'll see that there's been a slight update of the process. So now where you've got the green area here where it says assessment phase, that means that the assessment phase is open. Now, ignore the dates that are on this particular version because this is a test unit that I'm using. But you'll notice that down here, you've actually now been allocated a text. Now, because you've all used anonymous names for your document, you won't be able to identify who it is. This has just got Adam there because the name of the text that I used was Adam. But as long as you use an anonymous text, nobody will be able to spot you. Now, I have actually had a minor victory myself with Leo today because the default was that the owner of the document, their name came up as well. So, of course, that completely eradicated the whole point of it being anonymous. So I've been in fairly heated conversation and explorations for the last 2 hours trying to get that sorted out. We've now managed to have that removed, so it really is an anonymous peer review process, which is fantastic. Anyway, that aside, when you actually come to review the document, you then click on Assess. And this will bring up the document here that you can download, okay? And then it also has a sort of slightly reduced version of the rubric. So what I'd like you to do is to print out the rubric the copy of the rubric that I put onto Leo into week 12, and it'll have the first one, which is the criterion 1, and then it will have the second one, which is criterion 2. And what I want you to do with this is actually go through the 5 criteria and see which one you think matches the work that's been submitted. And if you like, you can put in the grade, or I'd also like you to put in some comments as well. So remember that these are going to be constructive comments about the document that you've read. So don't slate it. So we're not looking at, taking marks away. We're looking at giving marks. So we're looking at the credit model, not the deficit model. So, don't be nice just for the sake of being nice, but be constructive and be polite and use correct language. So give some really constructive advice about that particular criterion. Same applies to the second one. So make sure you read the criteria to see what they're on about. And then I've also put a third, what Leo calls an aspect here, that you can give some overall reflective feedback on it as well. So remembering this is, an anonymous peer review. So it's about giving some constructive advice, some thoughts on how the actual content can be adapted or improved or maybe changed. Okay, and once you've actually done that, so I'm just going to put some fake feedback into here. Once you've done that, then click on Save and Close if you've finished, or you can continue to edit, but I'm going to do Save and Close at this point. And then it tells me that I've actually now assessed that particular activity. And if you want, you can go and reassess it, but you probably won't want to. And then in a couple of days, I'll then switch from the assessment phase to the grading evaluation phase. You get 2% of the whole unit for actually submitting your document in the first place, and then you get 4% for assessing. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. If you've got any questions, please let me know.